All right. Yeah, I want to appreciate everyone that joined this training. And I'm going to be sharing my screen now. I'm going to be showing you how you can develop a mobile app or website. So let's do that website. I'm going to do how you're going to develop websites using your mobile phone or your system. Now there are three devices or three software that we want to be using in doing this. If you are using PC, that's maybe any form of Windows or Mac, you have to download VS Code. And if you are using iPhone, go now and download Coda app. And if you are using Android phone, go now and download an app called Treb Edit. So, but for the purpose of those who will be watching this, I'm going to be practicalizing this with Treb Edit. Treb Edit, that's what I'm going to be using. All right, so let's go. All right, I'm presenting now. So I'll go to my Treb Edit app. You'll see something like this. Click on it. So after you have clicked on it, allow it to load. So after it has loaded, you don't need the premium. You want to use the free version now. Okay. So after it has loaded, you are going to see four things like this on the interface. That's learn to code, get source code, workspace, and test editor. What we are concerned about is workspace. So click on workspace. All right, after you have clicked on workspace, you will see a plus icon here. We want to start a new thing. So you just click on this icon. All right, click on this plus icon. Now you need to first create a project, that's a folder first, before you can now start creating files. So create a new project. So you can name it anything you would like. So I'm going to be naming this which one name should I give this? Let me just name this Femnet. All right. That's the name I want to give to the project. All right. So click save. So this is the file. You can see there's no file inside. The file is 0. Let me try to delete all what I have there before, so that it will not really conflict each other. All right. So click on that Femnet. So inside it, you also see a plus icon. Click on it, and now this time around, click on new file. So we want to start this by first writing code for HTML and CSS. All right. So, but in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you HTML now. So now let's call the name. We need to put a file here, and we need to name it dot an extension. So what is HTML? Let me start by naming this femnet.html. All right. All right. So let me save it before I will define what an HTML is. What is an HTML? HTML simply stands for hypertext markup language, and it's like the building block of any website. So it's just like HTML is just like the building block. Like you want to have a house, for instance, HTML is like the block, what brings the structure, like the skeletal structure. Whereas CSS stands for cascading style sheet, which is like what you can use to beautify it. Maybe okay, you want to put color here, you want to color it this color, you want to make sure it has maybe some beautiful effect and all those stuff. That's what you use HTML for. Whereas JavaScript is like the functionality. What makes you to function? Maybe okay, you want your house to always have whenever you click a button or whenever you press a button, the light should come up. Whenever you press a button, water should rush. So that's what in a simple layman definition, that is what JavaScript does. So let's start with HTML. So we've written femnet.html. So let me open the file. Okay. So I've opened the file. You're going to see something like this. Whenever you have something like this, there's a need for you you first have what we call boilerplate. Here is called HTML snippet. You can say HTML snippet. So let me pick HTML snippet. All right. If you are using Windows, you can, that's on system now, VS Code. You can just press Shift and then exclamation mark. It's going to bring the same thing out for you too. So now we are having the, if you look at it from line 1.5 HTML, line 2 HTML language English, and 3 ed, and so on and so forth. But there's something you must always understand. The first line is telling us that what we want to write is HTML. So it's declaring it, just like declaration. So it's declaring that it's HTML. So now in line 2, it's making us to know that it's HTML and the language we are using is English. So now if you look at line 10, you can see before they write this HTML there, the second one there, they put the /. So that means that is where that code is ending. So if you look at the same thing with ed in number 3 and number 6, you can see that there is a close tag too. So that means whenever you open a tag, there must always be a closing tag. The same thing with title, although there are few exceptions that doesn't have this. But I need to clarify this. So now the ed section, we have two main sections, the ed section and the body section. The ed section and the body section. The ed section is the place where maybe in your bar, in your not bar, in your title bar, sorry. This is where this will be showing, but it will not be showing on your main page. Anything you put in the head will not be showing on the website page. It will only be showing maybe at the icon side, at the top side, that's at the tab side. That's where all these things will be showing. All right, so instead of this page title, let me just put it, let me just write Femnet project for the title. We're going to see this later. Femnet project. I'm just practicalizing. All right, so you can see if you want to save it, the first thing you see here is the search icon. After the search icon, the next one is save. So that's save button, and the one following it is preview. It looks like a play button. This preview. Let's click on preview. You will see that everything will be blank. But if you look at up, you will see Femnet project. So this is the way to be showing also in the tab of any browser that you are using. All right. So anything you put on the head is not going to be shown. But if we put something in the body, you can see the body too has the opening and closing title. So if you are putting something in the body, anything you put in the body is going to be showing to your user. But before we start writing something on the body, we must understand what we call elements. We must understand what we call elements. All right. So we have different type of elements. I'm going to be talking about maybe 1 or 2 or 3 elements. Now, elements are what you put your code in that make the system to understand that this is what you're actually talking about. So most of the time, whenever you have an element, there's always a need for opening tag and a closing tag, except for few or exceptional cases. All right. So now let's start with the element called heading. Now note that heading is different from head. All right. Heading is an element. All right. So we represent that with H, and we have from H1 to H6. So it depends on the importance of it. H1 is the biggest, while H6 is the smallest. Let's practicalize. Let's go. So we are going to write an open bracket H1. All right. So we'll close the bracket. So you can see that already close the element too. So let's say this is my first paragraph. So now let's just go and let's save it and let's go and preview and see it. Alright. So we can see this is my first paragraph. Now let's do the same thing for H1 to H6 so that you can understand what I'm talking about in this heading tag. Alright. Let's go to H2. I'm going to change that place where H1 is to H3, and so on and so forth like that. Okay? Because indentation too is very important in programming. Right? Okay. Let's go and preview so that you can see. You see that all of them, they will have the same width. Can you see this now? I see they are all the same font. But now let's go and change that H1 to H2. H2. We will change it at the closing of the element 2. H3. Let's change this one to H3. Alright. H3. Let's change this one to H4. Alright. Maybe we are following me. H4. Let's change this one to H5. Alright, H5. Let's change this one to H6. H6. Alright, so let's save it and let's go and preview it. Now, can you see the difference? You can see how one is big and that one is small, right? So from H1 to H6, so it shows you the like level of importance. And this is very important whenever we're talking about maybe something like search engine optimization. You look at the one that is more important. So you must understand it. So let's write another element, and that is paragraph element, sorry. And it's represented with letter P. Alright, P. So you can see P. So let's say this is a paragraph. And let's save and see it. So you can see this is a paragraph. Alright. Okay. So now another element I want to talk about this time, let's talk about an element that doesn't have a closing tag. Let's talk about horizontal row, HR. Alright. HR. So this one doesn't have a closing tag. You don't have to write anything. You just give it a line or two. Let's check it out too. Can you see the line there? Right? So now let me talk about one more element, and that is the break. That's the BR, the break element. We represent that one with BR. But for you to be able to understand this work, I'm going to repeat what is in this paragraph twice after the HR. So then I'll put a BR so that you can understand what the break does. Now, after the HR, let me put some space so you can understand. You discover it doesn't matter the number of space you put, it will not show. But if you put a BR, that BR is going to show to the world that there is a break in that line. If you want to jump a line, that's the best way to do. So let's save this. Let's go and check it. Can you see it something now? After the HR, we can see that there is no this, but after where we put BR, you can see that there is a big space. So this is what this also does. All right. So now let's carry out a project to make it like in a kind of a real way or in a real form. Now we want to go and create a simple one-page website. All right. So let's clear everything that we have here so that we can do a real project using HTML and CSS. All right. Thank you. Just hold on. Let's clear everything that we are having here. So there's a need for me to go and create another file called CSS. So I will go back from this page that I am in. So let me use the back arrow. Let me go to inside the file. Inside the folder, let me write another file. Let me name it Femnet. Sorry, Femnet.css. So I'm going to save it. So I'll go back to my HTML. I need to link my CSS with HTML. So that it can notice what I'm talking about. So on the inside the head, that's where I'm going to look for link. I'm going to link it. All right. So this href, I will now put femnet.css. Depending on the name that you give to your CSS. That was the name I give. That is why I have to put this. So you need to save after you are done with that. So now that we have linked it, let's do the first thing, and let's see maybe this will work. Let's go back to our CSS. Okay, let's go back to our CSS. Go to my CSS, and let me go and call the whole body now. Don't forget I said it's in the body that everything will show. Let's go and call body. I'm going to use this curly braces. I want to give it background. That's the background color I want to give it. So let me call it, let me give it blue. Okay. So let me select, let me save it. Now let me go and check it out here. You know, I've not written anything there. So let me just click on play button. You can see that everything is now blue. Why? Because that was the background I gave to my CSS. All right. So you can see that it's very sweet even without writing anything there. So I want to start with my nav bar, navigation bar, the one you see at the top. Whenever you are building a website, always know that it's just that you are structuring it step by step, step by step, step by step. So we want to start from the head to the top. And I'm going to be very brief and very fast in this tutorial. All right, so let's start with what we call div. Div is division. Just to say like, okay, from here to here, this is where this thing is. From here to here, so that if you want to start, if you want to do anything, you know where you are actually working on. This makes your work to look more structured. So inside the div, I want to have a class that I call, so inside the bracket, you can have a class. I want to call the class nav bar, okay, as the navigation bar. So inside it now, I want to write list out. Okay, there's what we call order list. There's what we call on order list. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use it on order list. So inside it, I'll be having different lists. Just follow me. I'm having home. I want the list to be clickable. Sorry. So before I start writing something, because of time, I want to be clickable. I want to be putting link. So there will be a need for me to put an anchor tag inside it. That's A. So now inside it here, between the A, so I'll be having home. Okay. So let me repeat this same for about us. Coming. Okay. I just want to copy it because of time. So I'm going to be having about us. I'm going to be having our price. I'm going to be having contact us. Okay. Location matters, don't forget. They have to be on the same line. Alright, so instead of this one, I'm going to change this to about us. Okay. I'm going to change this to our price for our service. Use our service. Okay, and I'm going to change this to contact us. Alright. So let's save it and let's go and put it. Alright, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, even though because of the bluish color, it's not making it really come out the way maybe that we may be able to see, because most of those things we wrote, they are also the list that we wrote, they are also in blue. So that is why I look at it's not really coming out very well like that. But with time, as we continue, you are going to enjoy it and see it much more. Or maybe I can change this blue to a blue that is very deep. And let me go to our CSS and see. Let me try to change these are color. The blue that will be very, very deep, or something very, very, very dark. You know, if this will work like a purple, or purple work, let's save and see first. Okay, I think at least even with this you can see some things better than the other time. All right. So now we want to style this deal. We want them to be beside each other. That's the first thing we want to do. So we need to call everything. Sorry, we need to call everything that is in this work. Sorry, this is an error. So it was the advert that was popping up. So sorry about that. It was advert that was popping up because we are using full version of the web edit. All right. So let's go back to what we are doing. So what I was saying is that we want to call the structure now. So if you look at it very well, we have the class navbar. So whenever you want to call class, you put dot that particular class name. So we have the class navbar, we have on under list, we have list, and we have anchor tag. So we'll go to our CSS to call the offer if we want anything to be affected on it. So let's go. Inside the body, we have to put dot navbar, just like the way I wrote it there, comma, on other list, as well, comma, list, comma, the anchor tag. So we are going to put curly braces. Now we are going to ask it that the display should be flex. Display. So we want it to be flex. If we said the display should be flex, that means they will be side by side. Then we put a semicolon. That means we want it to be side by side. We said the display should be blocked, that means they should be up, like following the way it was before. So let's go and check. Maybe our display is now flex. Can you see? They are beside each other, as you can see, but everything are joined together. Okay? So we want to now inside it still, since that's what we are working on, we are going to justify the content. Justify content. So is go check. Oh, sorry about that. So everything that you are doing, you have to be checking it after you are done, and you must make sure that you have the correct spelling. So even if you seem as if something is not working, it's showing that maybe there is a mistake somewhere. So you have to make sure you check very well. So you make sure you check everything you are doing very, very, very well. Yeah. So where are we now? Hmm? So we have already aligned items. Okay, before I even do that, let me try to give you test decoration to be known. Test decoration. Test decoration. So you'll be seeing everything that you are giving it as instruction. You are going to be seeing it showing up to you. So you are going to be seeing everything. The decoration none. Okay. So you see it. So I don't want to first do that before I go and debug the justify content. Okay. So let's go and check. Oh, we are done. So you can see two things have been removed now. The line that is under it has been removed. Also the like a dot. I don't know, maybe anybody observed before now that there was a dot before it. That dot too has been removed. Okay. So you must always note some of these things. Okay. So we can even change the color first before I will now walk back on the justify content. So let's go ahead and let's work on the color. Then I'll come back to justify content. I just want you to follow me. So which color will be best? I will make color that will be more deeper. So let's just go back to our CSS. Go back to our CSS. Let's give it a color. Okay. We should do the work. Let me see first. After each thing, we are going to put a new colon. Okay. So after the semicolon, let's save it. Let's go and check it on the HTML. Let's see, maybe that color is okay. This color really okay? I'm not too okay with the color. I'm going in the color, but I believe you are following me. Okay. Let me see which color will I prefer. Clear this. Okay. Let me see because okay, this justify content, so the space around, I'm supposed to put iPhone. Let me just do that together. You can put space around, space between, and so on and so forth. So let's go to Femnet.html. Let's go and preview it. Okay. Okay. So let's go back. I think this red is okay by me. Okay, my space around is not working. Let me go and check what's happening. Log into my justify content. Okay. Oh, you must also check that. I hope you did not make mistake with the timing. Okay, space around. I didn't say space between. Okay. Let me put space between. That is what you can see. There's already space around it. That's the English word. There's space around it already. So, but what I want, let me use space between, and let's see how that one will look like. Hmm? Mhm. Come. Okay, let me give it gap. Let me give it gap. Let me give it gap. If this is not working, let me just give it gap so that you can know the gap is wrong. Let me give it gap of, let me say 30 pixel. Let's go and preview. Yes, this is what we want. So you can see this look like exactly like some website heading you used to see. Okay, so the gap is not even enough. Let me put it 40 pixel and see. So let's save it. Let's go and check it out now. Okay, so you can see now that it looks like the way some websites will look like. All right, so now all these are clickable. I think I put something in this link that we put. I put something here. Let me, okay, in this home now, let me put my website there. Maybe you have a link, maybe you've written another page or another file that is maybe about what.html or home.html, for instance. You just come here, whatever you name it with. Maybe you name it with home.html. So you go just put in this href, just put /home.html. So you just put home.html. So that's all. Pick it from there. But me, I want to, because I did not write any other code for home. I want to refer it to my site that whenever they click this, take them to my website. Or let me use my solar website. So okay, so let me save it. So let me preview it. So let me go and click on home now. You will see where it will take me to. Click the home now. It will take me to that address that I put there. So it depends on wherever you put in your anchor tag on the one that is going to open my laptop. So you can see where it leads me to. Alright, so I can go back. Also, wherever you want to put, is that maybe you've already created the page, you just put in that area. Alright, so let's continue. So now let's go and put a picture. Before the picture, let me put after the number. Don't forget the number end after this div. So let me put an heading or a heading. Okay. Like I've already taught you about heading the right time. So let me use H1. Okay. H1. Welcome to Femnet Digital Skills Tutorial. So let me save it. Let's go and check it. Alright, so you can see how this look like now. Maybe I don't like the way it comes down. Let me change it to maybe H2. But you can also change the font anyway. But let me change this to H2 so at least it will be on just one line. Let me change it to H2. Let me save it. We're going to check it. Alright. So now let's say I want to give it a different color. I don't want it to be black like this. I don't want it to be black like this. I want to give it a different color, for instance. Let's say I just want to change the color. So I'll go to my CSS. I'll go and call that. If I not put it in now, but it's only that. But note that anything I give to H1, H2, sorry, we use H2. Will appear to all H2 that I may later use. So that is why it's better I use the tool in case. and maybe from there I use the class name. So let me say I want to give it a color of give it color. Okay, will come out on it. Let me use something like, I don't want the color to be too much. Let me use this and see how it will look like. Let me save this. Let's go and check it out. Okay. So because I'm using red up, so let me use red. So let's now say I'm not okay with the way it's standing there. I want to put it at the center. So I want it to be in the center. So I'll put test align center. So I'm supposed to put at the back of this, whenever you end any work, you must put a semicolon, right? Yes. So let me go and check. You can see that it has come to center now. And that's what I want to first do. Okay, for the number, I want to give it another background color. Maybe I put it on, let me see, for the number, where is the number? Okay, this is the number. So let me go to CSS for the number. I want to give it background color. I can just put background. So let me go and give it a background color. Let's save it. Let's go and check it again. Okay. So you can see the background color now. You can see how the background color look like. Okay. So just showing you this so that you can understand how some of these things work. This is too sharp for me, so let me go and reduce the color, change the color a little. I don't want it to be too much different from, let me see this. Check. This will not allow the thing written in it. Okay, maybe I should just change the color inside it to white and see, or maybe to something close to white. Okay, I think we better this way. Alright. So now let's say I want the space here to be broader, I mean up and down in this our navbar. I want it to, be, I want more space. So I'm going to add padding to it. I want more space in that navbar. So let me just add padding. Padding to be, let me say 10 pixel. 10 pixel. This is like the unit that we use to measure space or measure how big something is. So let's go and check it out. Can you see how big it is? So this is not fine again. So I need to reduce the padding. So I want to reduce. So the padding is giving it up, down, side, left, right. So, but if you want maybe only up, you can just say padding up, this also, so padding down, this also, so padding right, padding left. All right. So let me reduce it from 10 pixel to, let's say 5 pixel. Right. So let's go and check. See how it look like. All right. I think it's still a bit better. And even though it's still big, as far as I'm concerned, let me change it to 3. Change it to 3 pixel. This is still big for me. Not that really okay. I just want to show you what that is for. will increase the magnificence. Let's do like this. So now I want to add pictures. After that, welcome to Femnet tutorial. So let me go and add a picture. So we are going to use an attribute called img. So after the h2, that's where we want to add the picture. Okay, so I'm going to use an attribute called img attribute. So you can see in the img attribute we have src, which is the source, and auth. So the source is where that particular file or that folder is. Auth is an alternative. What you show should, in case the photo is no longer there, or the picture is no longer there, or maybe it has been removed or something. So it is not there, and they click the site, so the auth will be what will be shown. But we have not imported any picture into this project. So let me go back to where we used to create file. So I'm going to import now. Click on that positive icon. So come down, you can see import folder, import file. So I want to import file. So I'll click on import file. Import file, it will take you to wherever pictures are on your device. So this is the picture I want to use. So I'm going to click on the picture. So I need to rename it. So back one, that's what I want to name it as. So I'll click rename. Let me import one more. Import file. Let me give this one too. Import this. Let me rename it. You can rename it anything you like, but that's what you used to call it. But so I rename it. So but the one I want to use now is the back one. So let's go back to our HTML where we have already called the img. So I'm going to just call it back one dot jpg, the way it was named there. All right, so let's go and do it. Oh, can you see now? But it's too big. Can you see it? So that means I need to give it a width. So I'll go to where let me go to my img. So in the hot, let me just put first background or something. First background. Okay, so just should, in case that image is not there, it should just be displaying this word first background. All right, so I'm going to give it width. So the width I'm going to give it is, let me give it 400 pixels. See. You can see that it has reduced to very much now. It's not filling everywhere. But I want you to fill this whole page first. You can also give it height. When you are giving it width, you can give it height too. Okay. So if I give it 100 VH for instance, to fill the whole page, let me show you that first before I increase the width. Let me go and give it height. Let me see, 100 VH. Let's review it. So you can see it now. So if I like, I can give it 200 VH or maybe 700 VH, so that you can just understand how some of these things work. All right, can you see how long it is? Okay, let me leave it at 700 VH. Let me make the width to now be 600 VH. Can also use what is it called? I can also use pixel for height too anyway. So but I just decided to use VH stand for viewing height. So that's what is standing for. Okay, so you can see this. But let me just remove the height. I don't want it to be too long so that I can write some other things in that same page. Like this. So even for me, let me use 580. 580. Yeah. Good. So I believe you love what you are seeing. believe you love what you're seeing. I believe you love what you're seeing. And then we call it a day. Maybe we do the footer and we call it a night. All right. Thank you. So let's just go and write maybe one or two paragraph more. So let's write paragraph that I've shown you the other time. So let me just write welcome to this tutorial. We believe you are interested in programming. So I can stop this. If I like, I can write another paragraph. Okay. Contact us on 08283584106 on WhatsApp for the professional for the professional development, web development class. Alright. Let me just leave it that way. Let's go and check it out. Alright, so website is just to pass that you want to put. So let me add one more picture. But I believe you already know we add picture, but let me just add one more. So this time around, this will not be as big as the other one. So that's img. So I think we have back2 dot jpg. So the hot background second, just within anything I like. So like I said, I want to leave the width. So let's preview it. Oh, but it will be big. So I need to reduce the width. Yeah, it will be big. I just remember be big. So let's reduce the width. Let's use the width, but this time I don't want it to be as big as the other one. So let's say the width should be 300. The width should be 300 pixels. Sorry, the width should be 300 pixels. So let's preview it. So let's say I want the image to shift small. So I can even use padding to do that. So let me just go. So, but it will be advisable I give this if I want to move it that way, because I want to go and pick it from CSS. So you better I put it in a div. That's the essence of div, to make it more easier. So I want to put it in a div. Okay. I want to put it in a div. So let me give the div a class name. Let me call it back2. Or back. Let me put it only back. So let me go to my CSS. So I'm going to call it from CSS. I'll just say back dot back comma img, because I'm calling the image. So calling the image. Let me just give it maybe padding left. 50 pixels. Let's see how this will look like. So you can see it has shifted from that side by 50 pixels. So that has even picked for the first one too, because I tagged image, because I called IMG. That was why it affected that too. Let me see if I'm not putting any IMG since it's already inside the English should work. Okay. Let me go on. Okay. So you can see because I only put back, I didn't tag IMG. So this work, you want to be sure it work more, let's put it 100 pixel and you see what I'm saying. 100 pixel. Right. So let's go and check it out. And see it has shifted too small. It depends on the number of pixels you want it to shift. I think I'm okay with this. So now let's go and do the footer. So that's how you design. So let me just do another div. Let me call the class. Let me give it a class called footer. Let me call it footer. So let's say I want to just write powered by. Okay, let me put P, or let me use H6 so it will be more smaller. H6 powered by Femnet digital skills. So let me save it. Now if you look at it now, it will still be like part of it. Let's see. Can you see it? But I want this place to have, I want the div for the footer to have a different background. So let me put another background there. I'll go and call it, just come here and call dot footer. So I'm going to say background, the color I want. Let me put something similar to what is up, but it should be different a little. So let's go and check it out. Alright. So, but it's too small, so I want it to have padding. Okay. Right, so let me give it padding off. Let's say 5 pixel. Alright, so you can see how our footer look like. Although the footer is almost getting close to how our header look like. Let me change it to maybe 2 pixel. Let me just say padding top. Yeah, let me use padding top here. Padding top, so that you can understand what I was saying the other time. Padding top to be 3 pixel. 3 pixel. Okay. Alright, so you can see how it has more space at the top. So this and this, if you want to learn more about how to develop websites, even using AI, you can always reach out to me on WhatsApp on the number I put 0033584106. So see you as you continue to climb your ladder towards becoming a professional web developer. The time will not permit me to really talk about more of these things, but stay on our channel. We still show you more and more things that you can do digitally on this channel. See, the next time I come your way, I remain Femnet on Femnet Digital Skills. Thank you and bye.